Hello everyone, welcome to our show Voices for Palestine. We are Arab women from Jordan who have come together in response to the atrocious attacks by Israel on Gaza and its people. On December 27, 2008, Israel launched one of its most aggressive attacks on Gaza. Since then, 3 weeks ago, over 1,000 Palestinians have been killed, 50% of whom are women and children, and at least 5,000 Palestinians have been wounded. According to the UN, at least 26,000 people in Gaza are currently displaced with nowhere to go. Let's talk about the situation in Gaza right now.
Huda, the situation is absolutely horrific. The numbers of the deaths and casualties speak for themselves. 750,000 people, 50% of the population, rely on food handouts from the UN. There's currently a severe shortage of food due to the fact that Israel keeps closing the borders and has bombed the tunnels that connect Egypt to Gaza. The little food that does make it through, distribution is being hampered by the fact that there isn't enough time during the 3-hour lull in fighting to distribute the necessary rations, and the fact that UN and aid convoys have come under the repeated attack by the Israeli military. Aid agencies are reporting that mothers have nothing to feed their hungry babies other than boiled water due to a shortage of milk, and that some families have resorted to eating nothing but grass.
The health situation is completely catastrophic. Hospitals are under attack. The entire Gaza Strip contains only 2,000 hospital beds, while the number of the wounded has already exceeded 5,000. Many of the injured are just simply being turned away without receiving appropriate medical attention. Paramedics and aid workers are also under attack. The other day, the Red Cross was facing fire from the Israeli army while attempting to evacuate babies that had been trapped with the rotting corpses of their mothers. Eventually, they resorted to donkey cart rather than an ambulance to evacuate those children.
And this is while the Israeli forces were only 80 meters away from the house, so
Yes.
they clearly heard that there were children there.
Yes, absolutely.
And according to the UN, approximately 50% of the population in Gaza have no access to clean water. The wells that supply water to the homes have been destroyed. That means there's no drinking water for most of the people living there. And the World Bank has indicated that nearly all sewage and water pumps have been destroyed, which means that villages are being flooded with sewage. Yeah. 2/3 of the population have no power or electricity, and many families have resorted to burning their furniture because they don't have cooking gas to cook food.
And it's also important to remember that this has been going on for a lot longer than 3 weeks.
Exactly.
The Palestinians in Gaza have been undergoing a severe, punishing siege by the Israeli army. 1.5 million Palestinians have been living in an open cage, and this is collective punishment according to international law.
Well, exactly, Aya, you nailed it. Gaza is surrounded by, if you look at it on a map, Gaza is surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea to the west, Egypt's Rafah's border to the south, and Israel to the north and east. Since Israel maintained control over all the borders, including the coastline, it is effectively an open-air prison trapping the 1.5 million people. They have absolutely nowhere to go. And then Israel drops flyers telling people to evacuate their homes, but when they do go to supposed safe havens, such as UN schools and shelters, those safe havens are then attacked as well by the military, by the Israeli military. On the 6th of January, an attack at a UN school killed 40 civilians. The majority were women and children. And just a couple of days ago, a UN aid warehouse was also attacked. I mean, there's nowhere safe in Gaza and people have nowhere to go.
As the Vatican called the situation in Gaza a concentration camp. We know that the United Nations Human Rights Council passed a resolution saying that Israel's actions resulted in massive atrocities in Gaza, and humanitarian agencies are calling the situation a complete catastrophe and are saying that Gaza is on the brink of total and utter collapse. We call upon every single responsible citizen to act in the name of humanity. For more information on how to help, please visit our website www.voicesforpalestine.com.